Hello, Hecate devotees, witches, and fellow occultists alike out there. When starting off on your path to becoming a witch, the choices for ancient cultures and deities can be overwhelming. There's so much information out there, it's hard to choose just one. A lot of people don't. They pick from different pantheons and what works for them. But when you're starting out and you want a direction and you seem directionless, this is a brief method that can help you find a path to start working with, along with deities to try out and see who works best for you. So, to begin this method of finding your path, you have 3 pieces of paper, written on it different pantheons you wish to explore. It should be one that fascinates you, that you're going to spend a lot of time and devotion to researching. So pick something you enjoy and that you like and have interest in. Besides these 3 pieces of paper, you're going to need a bowl. For me, I chose my trusty cauldron. This thing has seen some interesting rituals and spell work. And you need incense and about 2 inches of salt in the bottom of your bowl or cauldron. The flowers are just here for decoration, so you're not just staring at my floor. Okay, so once I start the first step, I'll explain the second step after. So right now what we're doing is you have your 3 pantheons. We're going to run it through the incense and bless it by the air, and then we're going to put it inside the salt to bless it by the element of earth. As I stated before, this is letting fate, letting the deities, and letting the elements help you decide which path you should be on. So let's start by this. May the element of air reveal to me which deity needs my prayer. So then you fold that and you shove it in the salt. May the element of air reveal to me which deity needs my prayer. May the element of air reveal to me which deity needs my prayer. Give it a good blessing. May the element of air reveal to me which deity needs my prayer. Okay. Come on, go in there. Then we toss the salt over it. Make sure that you can't really see which paper is sticking up. I don't know about you, but I get a tendency to be like, oh, I like that piece of paper. Oh, that's exactly what I'm going to choose. When, in fact, we're not supposed to be choosing that way. The elements is supposed to be choosing for us. All right. May the element of earth reveal to me which path will shape my worth. May the element of earth reveal to me which path will shape my worth. May the element of earth reveal to me which path will shape my worth. May the element of earth reveal to me which path will shape my worth. Okay, now at this point, don't look at the salt or the paper. You want to freely choose with your hand which one. Okay. And I chose Egypt. All right. The other 2 pieces, you could discard them. They really don't matter anymore. Your path has been chosen. So Egypt. So at this point, now that you have which ancient culture to start researching, how to pick a deity. All right. Before you do this part, or even after, it doesn't matter, either or, you think of which qualities you want to see within yourself to either better yourself or better understanding of things around you. For example, let's say I wanted to learn magic, and I wanted a mother figure in my life because I don't have one. And I wanted to become confident and powerful. So, with those things that I want to become in the Egyptian pantheon, I would choose someone like Isis. It is good to have 3 deities picked out with each pantheon that you chose. So, like I said, Egyptian Isis, and then I might also look into Sekhmet, and I might also look into Hathor. All 3 of these goddesses are mother type figures that can teach you magic, that can teach you confidence. Each one of them is different. So I would start with Isis. And this is the part where I was going to tell you about God and goddess dating. So all that means is you're going to try out Isis for, let's say, 3 weeks. So you devote your research, your energy, your time, and do small prayers to Isis for 3 weeks. And maybe her energy doesn't congeal with you. Maybe she's a great goddess, but you're not feeling her energy. Something's not clicking. So then you'd go on to the next deity, Sekhmet. Okay, you try Sekhmet out for 3 weeks. Doing the same thing, researching her, doing small prayers to her, small devotions to her, and see how that energy goes. Let's say Sekhmet is the winner. She's the one that, you bonded with, the energy flows great. You like what you're learning. She reveals to you some hidden things about yourself. Perfect. Then you don't need to search any further. You could stop at Sekhmet and either do full devotion to her from here on. Your deity has chosen you. Or, like I said, if Sekhmet didn't work out, if Isis didn't work out, now you're like, okay, I'm on to Hathor. Let's try Hathor. Let's say Hathor didn't work out. So where do you go from now? You've tried 3 of the deities of the Egyptian path and they didn't work out. Well, this is where you could go back to those other pieces of paper. You could do the same thing over again by putting the 3 pantheons back into the salt and choosing again that way. You can go in order of, okay, well, I started with Egypt, but now I kind of really want to learn the Norse. So I'm going to start looking into the Norse deities of those qualities I just mentioned from Egypt: motherhood, magic, confidence. Then you'd pick somebody like Frigga Freya or Freyr in Norse. It doesn't always have to be feminine. I just chose that because one of the things I stated was motherhood. Whatever works for you. Some people really need mother figures in their life. Some people really need father figures in their life. Some people really need to learn themselves. All of these things are great qualities and things to think about when choosing a deity to work with you. You want to be able to better yourself as a person, as a witch. You want to be able to learn about those hidden things within yourself to elevate your energy, your magic, what things aren't working, and what you want to improve on in your life. So with that, I walked you through how to pick a path, and I've explained to you God and goddess dating, where you pick a deity, you try them out for 3 weeks. If that's not working, you go on to the next one, and the one after that. And then if none of those 3 work from that particular pantheon, then you try the next pantheon and see which 3 work for you the best out of that. As I stated before, some of us are just really lucky in the fact that our deities choose us. Some of us have to go through this whole process, and Others will come across an image and that really captivates them. And when they do the research on the image, they find their deity that way. For me, I used to worship, starting off on the pagan path, I would do Father Sky and Mother Earth. And when I went to a seminar and met my teacher for the first time, he explained to me that it's good to have a name to be able to invoke that energy of that deity. If you're in a crowded room and you're just shouting, hey you, you're going to have 10 people turn around to try to look at you, none of which you're trying to get their attention. But if you say, hey Renee, in a crowd of people, Renee will just turn around and you have established a connection. That's why it's kind of important to find a deity along a path instead of just worshiping out, a nameless deity. It helps you focus your energy better. It helps solidify a connection. And as I stated before, there's no problem in, let's say you like Bastet out of Egypt, but want to also worship Thor from Norse. No problem with that. As long as you can balance it off on your altar. I know some people will sit there and argue, well, this pantheon doesn't get along with this one because they're completely different ancient cultures. But if you do the research, you'll find a lot of things in common because these people traveled from one place to the next. And that culture developed a little bit because of this one. You'd be surprised how much Russia, Ireland, and Scotland, because of the Norse and Germanic people, have developed not only their deities, but culture. So we are all connected in not just ancient civilization and people that have traveled, and but on our altars we could be united in that way as well. Well, this is, like I said, this is just one method. I'm sure there's many others out there that you can use to start your path and to try to find a deity. I hope that this at least gave you some information and started you on some inspiration onto how to go about finding your own path and trying out different deities, whichever works best for you. They don't always click. I had a friend of mine who, when she said she tried to worship Hecate, she would have nightmares of Hecate coming after her a couple times. And she decided that obviously that was not the right goddess for her because the energy was very forceful and not pleasant. So obviously you're not going to want to go with something that scares the crap out of you or does not feel right to you. And maybe you do. There are some, if you really need to be scared and get your life straight, perhaps you do need something that scares the crap out of you and gets you motivated in that way. Anyway, I'm just explaining that there's so many different people and their different experiences, and this is just one way to try to start you on your path. And I hope that this video finds you well and that you get inspired. So have a wonderful day.